everyone, it is Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and today I am creating two cards at the same time. They're going to be a Z fold card, I believe that's what they're called, and I'm going to make a girl version and a boy version. So I've gone ahead and done all the cutting on this boy version, and I'm just gluing or adhering all of the different pattern papers I'm going to use onto my folding card. But if you just bear with me for a second or jump forward 20 seconds, I will go through the different sizes and the measurements you need for creating your own version of one of these cards, and I will cut them out with you in my girl version of this card. So you can see it's super cute, and it gets a whole bunch of color and a whole bunch of pattern all together on one page. So with the boy version, I am using a cute little collection from Echo Park, which is called, what is it called? Hold on a minute. Here it is, which is called Jack and Jill by Laurie Whitlock. So of course it is. We know that she's fabulous. And it is a super cute collection. Personally, I think it's for slightly older gentlemen as opposed to my small boys, but it still works perfectly. But I do rather use it for things that maybe their dad is part of, not just things for the two of them while they're still so young. The girl version of the card, I am using Pick Me Up. Had to think about what it was called then. Pick Me Up from Paige Evans. I am not a card maker. I've said this a few times. I did include a teensy tiny bit of stamping in this one, but you could absolutely just use a sentiment from your scrapbooking collection or leave it blank and just write yourself. That would work perfectly. So I'm just going to adhere the last little bit of colored cardstock onto this card spread. Do you call cards a layout? I don't know. And then I will go through all the measurements with you, but I really wanted you to see how super cute this card was and just all the different colors and patterns you get going on your card. So if you are preparing in advance, I suggest 3 different pattern papers and 1 solid card base. Now in this man's version, I used a solid green, but on the girl version, I actually just used a cream base cardstock. And in all my instructions that I have got written down, I have a photograph of those at the end, which I can either email to you or just take a screenshot when you get up to them. I have labeled my items as base color, and then color 1, color 2, and color 3. I did mostly stick to my own rules, but sometimes I just used whatever cardstock I had scraps of. You can go as crazy or keep it as simple as you want with your cardstock choices. You might do everything just one big colored cardstock, or you might use like 6 different cardstocks. It's totally up to you. I'm just finishing off the belly band now, and then I will run you through all of the measurements. Now, you totally could keep your card exactly as it is now and just write in it and say it's done, but I'm a scrapbooker. I like to embellish, so I am going to put just a few little decorations and bits and pieces onto the card as well at the end. So hopefully you stick around to hear all of that. So that was my cheat sheet, so to speak, so I know exactly what to cut. So I'm going ahead and cutting my base now. My base is 5.5 inches by 11 and 5/8, so 5.5 by 11 and 5/8. And then the belly band is also cut from that color, and that's 1 inch by 8.5 inches. Then you want to take your cardstock and you need to put in some score marks. So I'm scoring at 4 inches, 7 inches, and 10 inches, which is just doing those sort of Z fold, the 3 folds you need to create your little Z. Then I want to cut my different pattern papers that I'm going to use to color the inside of my card. So this one now I'm cutting the 3.25 inches by 5.25 inches, and that's the largest section of my card. It's the very back page of my card. You can sort of see it up above the page, there it is there. So I'm going to pop that one there inside the Z. I'm going to do a little fold, and I need to add here another one. So next I'm going to cut my next color, and I'm skipping to the next largest fold, which is 2 3/4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then my last fold on the front, so these are all the front facing folds. This is the very little front, the little teeny front one, which is 1 3/8 by 5 1/4. But then when you open your card, you actually see the inside as well. So I now need to cut some colors to be the inside part of that flip. I'm watching myself cut this color and I don't use it. I'm not sure what happened to that color, but I don't use it at all. So I'm going back to my pink stripe, and I'm going to put it on the inside fold so that they match up, they line up together. So I'm just making sure I'm sort of cutting them as close as I can to the same spot, just so the flow of those lines is going to match, because they're going to be opposite each other. You absolutely could put a different color here. That's what I did in my man version. I put a different color on that inside fold. And then opposite the butterfly, I decided to just do another butterfly, just for fun. So what I have done differently on the boy version of the card compared to the girl version of the card, the cute little diamond paper that you can just see in the top left-hand corner, that's the front of the card, the cream base, I put that opposite the checkered page that is the main page of the card. Whereas in this girl version of the fold, I put everything matching each other. You will see when I open it up to do the decorations, because that didn't make a lot of sense. I also have close-up photos at the end where you'll also be able to see how I have done the colours and how they have different. So I'm just picking through the ephemera that I have in the page Pick Me Up collection to see what I want to put on the front of my belly band. Now my belly band, I don't think I mentioned that. My belly band is 3/4 inch by 4 inches. So it's all the way across the front of the card, but just a little bit skinnier than that 1 inch base. So once I have chosen how I want to decorate the front of the belly band, I then also want to decorate inside. So I'm going to go ahead and use the cute little flowers that say "You are beautiful," and I'm going to pop that up on foam. I don't know, are we inspiring you to get creating with some cards? I don't know if that's your thing. It is, I think I mention this every video. It's not my thing. I've never been a card maker. I have never really made cards before. I did find it super overwhelming to start with, and I was really nervous about what I was going to make and how, and would I be able to. Katie was a Stampin' Up demonstrator, so she had quite a lot of stamps, so I did borrow a little bit of her. But stamping is also not really my comfortable thing to do, so I haven't done it a lot. In this particular one, I actually used one of my own stamps. It's from Kaiser Craft. It came in one of my kits, and it's just called Fleur, Fleur. And that one said, "You are amazing." And then I also just have, I don't know where it came from. It's just an acrylic. They're more just some more rubber stamps that are a birthday set, but they're like random. They're not in a box. They're not in a packet. They're just random. And one of them says "Happy Birthday." So I just stamped that as well. And I just used the Memento Tuxedo Black. and just popped that in the middle of both of the cards. They both say the same thing. So there it is there. I could have stamped them together at the same time, but I hadn't decided how I wanted to do it. Do be aware of where you are stamping and where you are placing your elements on this page because of the way the Z folds. I wanted to make sure that my stamping stayed behind the fold. You didn't see it poking out at the side. So if I had have gone even like a millimeter to the right, you would have actually seen that stamping poking out once I folded the card back up again. So do keep that in mind. I do forget when I'm putting on some of the elements now, and I actually have to go back and move them. So you can see there how I have matched the butterflies with the butterflies and the pink paper with the pink paper. I could have absolutely done the pink paper all the way across. I could have done 4 different colored papers to get a whole supply of different patterns. I could have done the butterflies all the way across, anything you like. There's no rules, sky's the limit in how you want to embellish this yourself. I did go ahead and just sort of break it into the 2 sections because that's the way the fold kind of favors it, but it's totally up to you. So see, when I folded it up then, the Oh Happy Day word sticker I put down on the butterflies, you could see it sticking out the side of the fold. So I am going to trim it down into 3 separate words, Oh Happy and Day, and stick those stickers down that way just to make sure they are hiding when the fold goes back across. And that's what I meant as well when I was talking about your stamp, just making sure you don't stamp too far over because I think it looks a bit cleaner to not have any of those embellishments or stickers sticking out the side. Then pop your belly band back on and you are done. And you can either purchase an envelope because this is a standard 4x6 sized card. It's actually a bit smaller than that. It is a 4-inch by 5.5-inch card. Or you can do what I'm going to do, which is make my own envelopes using my punch board. And I just use like the thinner scrapbook paper that we get that we find hard to scrapbook with because it's a bit flimsy. I just use that thinner one, the one that's white on one side and patterned on the other side. I put the color inside the envelope and just keep the white outside envelope sticking out, which I think is perfect. So you can see I just grabbed that word Dad off the sticker sheet and popped it up on foam. And then inside this one, I've already done that little stamping and it says the same thing, Happy Birthday, you are amazing. Then I've used a little word sticker that says you're the best and an arrow. And then I'm actually going to play to the fact that that you'll be able to see some of these embellishments out the side of the card. And I'm lining up that tag so it's out the side of the card, and I'm also putting another little word sticker in a matching orange on there that says it's all good. And then I'm just going to put, because it looks a bit strange when you open it to have that tag sort of hanging halfway in the middle of the page for no reason, I'm just going to pop another sticker to fill in that square gap. And even though this is a little bit not the right sentiment because it says B is for boy, I possibly should change this for the word son instead of dad. That was the perfect size to put there, so I'm going to put that there as well. So here are the 2 finished cards. This is the instruction manual. Let me know if you want me to shoot that to you in an email or just take a snapshot of it while it was on the screen. And here are the beautiful finished cards. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this process video. I hope I am inspiring you to create some cards. It is Christmas. You never know what you might turn these into. They can be used for all seasons. And we will see you again tomorrow.